Hello everybody, it's Williams Farms back at you with another 1980s farming simulator video. So we left off last time. We had just finished a couple of our smaller corn fields. We hauled our corn in, put it in the silo, and now we are going to go ahead, switch over to some beans, jump in that, and do a little tillage as well. This morning when we did our routine check and walk around of all of our equipment, like I said, we were going to go ahead and fasten. The clutch was slipping a little bit, so we tightened the belt, and it seems to have worked. We're not hearing anything. We'll really be able to tell when we do this first pass, but I think we're pretty much ready to go. The time is good, so we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. While I'm up in here, right now there is actually something on the market that a few of you may know what I'm talking about, but being the 80s, it's not as unheard of. But so right now we have 30-inch rows on our soybeans. That's just kind of what we've run. We don't do it with a grain drill. We've been putting it in with our row crop. So basically, they make a specialized corn head that you can use where it uses a corn head frame, but it also has the knives of the bean head, so you can get in between those 30-inch rows. We do not have one, as they seem to push beans down a little bit. But seeing these 30-inch rows just reminded me of that, since a couple of the farmers do have them around our area. Got out just to check the ground to make sure that it wasn't throwing anything through it on the ground, but everything looks pretty clean. One of the big things we're looking for when we check this is there are settings in the back of the combine, especially and up front, that we have to change to get it from threshing corn over to beans. There's sieve differences, more open, more wide. You can run your air RPMs up a little more or lower. Basically, we're just checking all these things to make sure we can limit as much loss from this as we can, since we don't have that many acres in the first place, and really every acre counts. So everything looks good. I think we're ready to move on to a little bit bigger field, which is just right across the grass right here. So I think we're pretty much good to go. A lot of people are going to ask why that corn is left over there. I know it's not a lot. Well, the short answer to that is we use that as our food plot for hunting. This is a very wooded area back here, and it makes perfect to get a couple bucks and does while we can, get that tag limit out. Being the 80s, it's not a whole lot, and it's not illegal. We've passed it with the local marshal, and everything is good to go. We've got the license and everything, but basically we just put it back out there because it basically gives them something to nibble on, and they're not going to get farther up into the rest of our corn or beans. They like to stay back there, and over time it just keeps them coming back. So when we're ready to hunt, they are ready as well. So it looks like we're about to get ready to unload here in a few passes, so I'll catch you when that is ready. The combine is about 95% full. Nobody else is here yet, so I'm going to have to get out, run, and go grab the grain truck, which is pretty close, but we're going to drive it over here and unload. And then by that time, I'm hoping somebody else should be showing up, so that way they can get most of this soybean harvest done, if not all of it, while I run a little tillage, and we get to do that side of our operation as well. We're in the Chevy right now. As you can see over there, we've dropped our header trailer, and then we're going to pull right under this combine, and I'm going to hop in the combine, move it back, and go ahead and unload. So we're in the combine. All we have now to do is to pull up and go ahead and start unloading into this grain truck. A neighbor just stopped by and basically informed us that a hired hand is actually on his way over here, so we will have him hop up in the combine while we get over here, and we're going to go ahead and jump in the tractor and do some tillage. We are now in the John Deere. As you can see, we got the hired hand going over there, and all we have left to do is just to pretty much go ahead and drop this disc arrow in the ground and to take off and see what we can get done while they finish up harvest. We've just finished this field, and now we're going to go right across this little grass patch and get into our other one. It looks like our hired hand is making very good time over there. I think he's about full again, so then we'll have to get out and run the grain truck up to the farm and then unload there. We are on our last pass right now. That means we'll be able to take over. He can ride in the grain truck or stay here and keep trucking along, do a little more tillage on some other things, but we are now done with both of the smaller fields. We'll leave the cornfield how it is, and then we did leave a little chunk of beans back there to dry out just a little bit longer. By the time I hop back in the combine, I'm sure they'll be okay, but until then, we are just going to drive over here and park the tractor next to the grain truck. And then we'll either hop back in the combine or the grain truck, and then we'll haul the grain back to where it needs to go. So now that we're done with the majority of the field, we can actually go back to this little area that's pretty much been covered by the trees. So it took a lot longer for that little spot to dry out, but it should be completely dry now since we've been going at this field for a few hours. So we're going to head over there, and then I'll meet you back when we are done and unloading into the truck. We are finished up, and all that is left is to unload, so we're going to go ahead and do that right now. And after this, we're going to take the head off, put it on the header trailer, go hook the grain truck up to the header trailer, and then drive that back, and then we'll drive the combine back, and then the tractor after that, and then we can go and unload this thing of grain. We just got done attaching the header cart to the back of the grain truck, so we're going to run that back up to the farm. Like I said, the soybean silo is off site, so we might just take it to the market instead of driving all the way that we have to, and then we'll take the combine back and then the tractor. So I will meet you guys back at the farm. We just got back from the granary, made a good little paycheck off of that, so we should be able to expand on some equipment if we need, or maintenance and things as needed as well. We do have a little bit of corn over here to finish, but that is not the highest priority as of this second. We just got dropped back off again at the field. This is the last time we'll be over here for just a few days. We're going to run that tractor back up and then probably get the combine switched over to the corn head to finish up what little we did have over there. And then this is the field that I was mentioning earlier. It's a good piece of land, so I think we can get quite a few acres off of it. But I think that'll just take a little bit, but we'll be able to do that right after we finish our corn harvest up. And then we'll run back over here and go ahead and disc it all up. As we're heading back to the shop, one of the big things I'm thinking about is we have a bigger tractor, which is what we're driving right now. But the disc we have on it and then the 3-point ripper are a little bit, underqualified for this. This is a little bit overkill. So I'm thinking with what we just made off of the crop and then what we continue to make off of the rest of our corn crop, I'm thinking maybe we can trade in the disc and then the 3-point ripper, and we can buy a new implement to till with. We just made it back to the farm, and we've decided to park the 4440 with the disc over here so we can start disking that up one day. But as of right now, we are just going to hop into the combine, go ahead, hook the head up, move it over to the field, and then we will head home for the day. We just got out of the International 1420. Earlier, we decided to bring the Super M up with the Kilbros wagon to get prepped for the finishing of this cornfield. This is actually our last cornfield we have on our farm, and then we will be done for the year. So we look forward to getting into that and then making prep for next year's corn harvest and soybean harvest. So with that being said, we will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, guys, for watching another part in our 1980s roleplay series. As we progress forward, we'll move a little bit into the later 80s, get some different equipment, and then move on into the 90s, early 2000s, whatever we can do, or whatever you guys decide you want to see. So, like always, like it, share it, subscribe, anything helps, and I will see y'all in the next video.